How beautiful she is.
And this was actually the last time we were all together.
Paul Nelson and his wife would rather remember his sister Blair this way.
I like this one.
Laughing and surrounded by family, not the way she died.
What hurts the most is that she died alone. And she died in a jail cell, a place she had never been.
Blair Nelson died at the Chelan County Regional Justice Center in 2021, about 15 hours after being booked on suspicion of a DUI. Her blood alcohol level was over 3 times the legal limit. This is jail surveillance video showing Blair's final moments alive, suffering from complications of liver disease and alcohol withdrawal.
Her tremors were so bad from detoxing that they were unable to feed her.
Court records claim a jail nurse never consulted a doctor, even though Blair clearly needed medical help, leaving her unsupervised for hours before she was found dead.
It's their duty to make sure that you're safe. They failed horribly.
For years, the King 5 investigators have reported on tragedies impacting Washington inmates like Blair and Javier Tapia. He lost his leg at the Pierce County Jail after a life-threatening infection when undiagnosed.
I feel they still took some of my freedom from me, leaving me in this state.
Despite having one of the highest death rates of local jail inmates in the country, Washington lacks statewide jail standards and oversight measures, and efforts to change that have repeatedly failed.
So the fiscal for that was...
For the second time in 2 years, concerns over cost...
The fiscal is a little alarming.
...killed a bill that would have created a statewide jail oversight body.
I think it's sad. I mean, what greater responsibility is there than taking care of someone?
Stand on those green footprints there.
Babysitting someone.
Jail leaders across Washington told us there's little they can do to improve jail conditions without extra funding from the state.
Cities and counties are going to pay the cost for that with more lawsuits.
A year after Blair's death, Nelson sued Chelan County, joining hundreds of others who've taken their fight for justice to the courts.
It does seem like someone somewhere did the math one day and said it is cheaper for us to defend the lawsuits than to actually just provide the adequate care in the first place.
We did our own math and for the first time ever have uncovered the financial toll on taxpayers. The King 5 investigators analyzed hundreds of legal claims against more than 40 Washington jails. We found in the last 5 years, local governments spent over $60 million to defend and pay out on more than 300 jail-related claims, ranging from lost property to inmate deaths.
I think that's way too high of a taxpayer price to pay.
Thurston County spent the most to settle a single case, over $7 million. An inmate claimed inadequate medical care behind bars left him paraplegic. On the Olympic Peninsula, jails in Clallam County and the city of Forks settled multiple claims of inmate sexual abuse by jail guards. And in Garfield County, a $2.5 million settlement led to this dilapidated jail's closure when a man's body went undiscovered for more than 18 hours after his suicide.
This was the night before.
Paul Nelson's lawsuit against Chelan County never made it to trial.
We were negotiating the value of my sister's life. It reduced my sister's 42 years of life to numbers.
The case settled last April for $2.5 million. A spokesperson for Chelan County declined an interview. As part of the settlement, the county denied liability in Blair's death.
It doesn't feel like justice at all.
What would justice look like?
Reform.
There are ways that we can reduce these payouts or awards, but it's not necessarily with reform.
Vicki Raines is one of the leaders of an organization that pays out on jail-related claims for 24 counties in Washington. She says jails don't need oversight. They need money to get to the root of some of the biggest problems, like serious mental health challenges that jails aren't equipped to handle.
I would never say that $60 million in payout or settlement fees to individuals is because our jails are bad. We have a litigious society and people will go after where they think the money is. I would like to see the state put more money forward to assist the jails on the front end of things.
While our analysis of legal claims covered just 5 years of payouts, we found the cost to taxpayers is still climbing. Just last month, Javier Tapia, the Tacoma man who lost his leg in jail, settled a lawsuit against Pierce County for $1 million.
I feel relieved that Pierce County was accountable for what state they left me in.
Also this year, Chelan County settled a wrongful death suit with the family of this inmate, Joseph Verville. for $3.2 million. Verville, seen here in a cell, died while suffering from opioid withdrawal, less than 3 months before Blair Nelson died in the very same jail. For Blair's brother,
I think I hit my wall.
and countless others who got a piece of that 60+ million. It's not a win.
A good friend of mine, he's very wealthy. I said, how does it feel to hold a check that size? It felt dirty. I would rather have her back. This doesn't make me whole.
We looked at a lot of cases, and in almost all of them, the jails aren't admitting they did anything wrong. They just think it's the most economical way to resolve or avoid lawsuits. In the newsroom, I'm Taylor Mir-Fendereski, King 5 News.
And to watch this story and other King 5 investigations, download the King 5 Plus app on your television. You can watch them all for free.